to be honest with you. It's, just the whole tournament has meant so much to me over the years. Coming here in 95 for the first time and be able to play as an amateur, winning in 97, and then come full circle 22 years later, be able to do it again. There were so many different scenarios that could have transpired in that back nine. There were so many guys who had a chance to win. Leaderboard was absolutely packed and everyone was playing well. So you couldn't have had more drama than what we all had out there. And now I know why I'm balding. This stuff is hard.
Rob Parker is with us this morning.
What's happening? Good morning.
Good to have you. So, Rob, here's the thing. You have been critical of Tiger in the past. Did change anything for you?
I know everybody's caught up in the euphoria of him winning and whatnot, but not much has changed for me.
Okay.
Because I have a history, and Skip, you've gone through this.
Well.
Okay? I spent my honeymoon in Tokyo, Japan, watching Tiger win in 1997.
Yep.
Should have been paying attention to my wife.
Yeah, you should have.
You should have been buying her gifts.
And wound up costing me a marriage. But that's what I did. That's how powerful it was.
It was.
Okay?
I think we all went through the same sort of thing watching in 97.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was in total. He destroyed the course.
He did.
I just remember watching. I was in awe. But then he went on Oprah Winfrey's show.
Just a few weeks later, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm watching in disbelief. He said he was offended that people would call him black. Offended. I mean, you look at this. I know he's mixed, and there's nothing wrong with honoring his mom's heritage as well.
And on that show, he said for the first time, I came up with a name in my childhood, Kabla Nation, because he's part Caucasian, black, Indian, Asian.
Skip.
Go ahead.
And that just bothered me.
All right.
He made up this thing. And you know what? I always said, if he was outside of some Caucasian woman's house at 3 o'clock in the morning and she picked up the phone to say somebody was out there, she wouldn't use the term, what is it?
Kabla Nation.
Kabla Nation. She'd say, there's a black guy out at my window.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
That is a fact.
Okay, so my only point is, you don't consider yourself black even though you're skinned. Barack Obama, his mom was white. He's just as much white, Skip, as he is black. What do you consider himself? The first black president.
Sure.
Okay, so after that kind of took place, I said, I'm good with Tiger Woods. Took all of my golf stuff, my hats, my Tiger Woods shirts, which are really good stuff, put it in a box and took it to the Salvation Army. I was out. I was out from that point on.
So yesterday.
And then when you go to the golf part, I became, because of what happened, a scandal, and then he couldn't win. He couldn't win for a long time. Right. 11 years he hadn't won a major, and what is it, 5 or 6 years?
14 since the Augusta.
Right,
yeah.
but he hadn't won an event, regular PGA event. Right. So I was out. He became embarrassing to me. He became unwatchable. Yes, is that a great story yesterday? Absolutely. It
was.
I would be lying to sit here and tell you it wasn't. Because when you haven't won and you gone through what he went through, it was amazing.
Right.
And in that picture of him hugging his son, you know, if you don't get goosebumps, you're dead.
Right.
I don't even know.
Good point.
You're not human.
Yep.
So all that.
Almost like his dad hugging him.
Yes.
After the first.
And that
so
was
now
97, right? So it all played back.
20 years later.
And you know, the whole notion of, well, he's an American hero and all, I can't co-sign that.
Right.
I'm not all the way in on that. Great moment. Happy for him to make his way back with all the hard work and everything, the surgeries and all the other stuff he went through. But I'm still not all in on Tiger. I haven't forgotten all the other stuff that went on. Great moment, but I'm still out.
Mr. Sharp, your take.
Well, I think the thing is, most of us have done a great job of compartmentalizing. Man, that was a great story. That was unbelievable yesterday. But he's still a liar and a cheat. You know, so for me, nothing's changed. I think it's an unbelievable story. But I like Rob. Let me ask you a question. When he got that DUI 2 years ago, what do you think they put on that arrest record? Did they put combination?
What did they put, Skip? What did the cop put down on that?
What did they list him as?
I don't know for a fact, but I'm
No,
gonna
we
guess you're
saw
right.
it. It was black.
Yeah.
Black?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So it changed nothing from the perspective of how I view Tiger Woods. I thought he was the GOAT golfer before he won. He didn't need to win another for me because I had seen enough.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, well, he needs to pass Jack. Nah, the dude got 30 more victories, tour victories than Jack.
And even the rate that he won his first, 14, was unbelievable.
And normally when he enters the tournament, he was getting it done. He was getting a bunch of W's. So it didn't change. It's a great story. It didn't change anything for me, Skip. I don't view him any differently than I did before. I didn't view him and even when he had the scandals, that didn't change anything for me. I didn't look at Tiger like that. Everybody wanted, well, he was a Hurricane hero and he had this false sense. Look, you don't really know what a person does. That they sold you a bill of goods and you were willing to buy. You wanted to buy those golf clubs, even though you're never going to be able to swing like Tiger. You drank Gatorade, even though you're never going to be like Tiger.
And by the way, ever since, we still have not one African-American golfer rise near the top.
Which is unbelievable.
There's not one. Not one. I thought by now there would be 30.
And think about how many of them grabbed a set of golf clubs because he started playing and said, oh, man, and everybody playing golf. And like you said, not one.
Not one. This is deep. This is powerful. And this is a little controversial, but I'm going to go into the deeper water here. So when Tiger won in 1997, my narrative was that young black man has knocked down the gates of a last bastion of Old South racism. And to be fair to the membership of that club, if you look at it hard, about 50% of it comes from New York and California. So don't think they're all just from Augusta, Georgia, or the Old South.
And that's a good point, Skip, because they signed off on it.
But it's what it stood for. And you grew up in South Georgia, a little ways from Augusta, but you know it better than anyone. And I used to cringe even at the very name Masters. It offended me, and I wish they would. I've campaigned for this before, even though I love the golf. It's my favorite golf. How can you not? And as you have pointed out, it gets played every year on the greatest golf course in the world. It does not move like the other events do. But the name Masters, the connotation of that, the plantation connotation was just wrong to me, and I wanted to evolve into 2019 and let that go, but they're not going to let that go because that's what that stands for. It stands for golf to them in the greatest tournament in the world. But then right away I start seeing in my little inner circle, my white friends and my white mother, they fell head over heels for Tiger Woods from day one, and I couldn't process it because they embrace Tiger as theirs too. Like the black community is looking at it one way and the white community is saying, no, we love him. I don't know if it was for, in your eyes, the wrong reason because he was not black enough, right? Because maybe my mother would say, not that she wasn't racist, didn't have a racist bone in her body, God rest her soul, but still, she just embraced him as a golfer because we'd never seen anything like it before. And to this day, he is the most exciting golfer to watch who ever lived, and it's not even close. That's why golf is still dependent on Tiger Woods, even though he hadn't won a major in 11 years.
11.
And golf still hinges on whether he can play or not, right?
Right.
Okay, so the big picture part, I appreciated your take because you were deeply, truly offended by this. And then yesterday I sit back, and it's in part because he became the all-time sympathetic figure because he paid for yesterday, man.
Oh, yeah.
He paid deep debts. And in the end, I walked away from yesterday thinking he's become the most beloved athlete, not in this country, in the world, because he's a worldwide figure. And because of the scandal, because of all the injuries that should have knocked him completely out of ever playing again, now the world has embraced the new guy, and he is a completely changed man, and it's legit.
Yeah.
He looked different to me yesterday.
Humbled?
He's humbled. I thought almost to a fault before yesterday because I didn't think humbled could win the way he used to win.
Let me ask you a question. If he doesn't go through what he goes through in 2009, is he humbled?
No.
Maybe not.
And
not at all.
Would he have dominated this game the way no one's? He did anyway.
Right.
But would he have like 5 more green jackets in his? I believe.
I don't know
would
about
have.
green jackets, but he'd had 5 more majors.
I think he'd have 5 more green jackets.
For me, Skip, look, when Tiger won in '97, and I remember watching the tournament, I was excited because I looked at him as being black. Once he did not want to be identified as that, it didn't change. Okay, fine. You ain't invited to the cookout. Cool, do you?
Right.
I don't get it. And then I found myself after 2009, Skip, I found myself rooting for him for one reason. I didn't believe. Now, maybe if you're married, you have a different view. But I don't believe adultery should have been a death sentence. They made it look like Tiger Woods had ran out there and he went on a mass killing spree. And I was upset about that. And everybody that's listening to this and everybody that's sitting at this table know Tiger Woods was crucified for one single reason. If Elon's name was Ella, it'd have been a different story.
Yeah.
And that's what made me upset. So I rooted for him. I wanted him to win every tournament. And if somebody had a lead, I wanted him to double bogey for Tiger to get a chance to win.
All right.
But it didn't change. Do I have to look at him like, I know why you're humble now. He takes pictures. He'll talk to people on the golf course.
He never did.
When he would come, get that camera out of here. And then he had the perfect caddy, Steve Williams, who would grab somebody's camera and throw it away or curse him out. He changed. He didn't.
And even yesterday, to your point, which is right on point, I think you saw the black community respond. They, despite all the other stuff, they see the black skin.
Yes.
And it's a sense of pride. It just is. Even if he ain't really, you know what I mean, with the community, it's hard to not look at him and not feel prideful.
Yes.
That this guy overcame. We are overcoming people. That's what we've always done. And look at, you said it, he paid the price the last 10, 11 years. It's been hell. And look at where he was yesterday.
The Tiger I knew back in his heyday, his glory days, listen, he was not a nice guy. And I think that actually served him well on the golf course.
Yes.
He crushed people. He bullied golf courses and fields because he had edge to him, and the edge came out after hours at night.
Right.
And once that edge got taken away and he actually went to rehab for sex addiction, I wasn't sure he could ever get the edge back on the golf course.
Right.
That's why yesterday meant so much to me. You overcame that to win that way. And you won the Masters without making a single eagle in 4 rounds. He used to live, he lived with the Eagles.
The par 5 was his thing.
Yeah.
That was his joint.
Come on. You can't win the Masters without making a single eagle, and he did.
Did you shed a tear yesterday, Skip?
No,
I know how much you
I
love
didn't
golf.